Hello everyone. In today's episode of Cisco Webex Beta Quick Bytes, we're going to discuss modern experience. When you filled out the Webex Beta application, we had a section where we asked questions about modern experience, what features you had enabled, and if you had not enabled, we had asked why you have not enabled certain features. In today's episode, I want to give you some background on why we asked these questions and how this modern experience is going to help customer with their deployment, and also from an end user perspective, how it's going to improve overall experience with Cisco collaboration products. So I have a couple of slides that I want to share. I want to give you some high-level overview and also show you another feature in Control Hub, which you might already be familiar, that outlines these features, whether you have those enabled. If you don't have it enabled, a quick help on how to enable those features. The list of features that we track from a modern experience perspective is listed here. The first one is Verify Domain. Verify Domain feature allows Cisco to verify that you are in fact the ownership of that particular domain. It provides security from an user management perspective. Followed by Verify Domain, there's a feature called Claim Domain, which allows you to make sure anybody who signs up using your domain, for example, as a Cisco employee, if somebody tries to sign up at cisco.com email ID or any other domains that we own, that particular user is automatically added to the Cisco org. So we as a customer can manage those users. Claim users also goes along the same line. If you had users who had signed up on their own before you had done the claim domain, they can go and bring them into your own organization so that all features can be applied to those users in terms of the collaboration features, and also security policy can be applied to those users as well. Single sign-on, as most of you might already be familiar, helps us to make sure you just need to remember only one password for your login. And whenever that password is changed, it applies to all your logins as well. So that makes the end user life easier, that they don't have to remember multiple passwords. Directory integration, there are two folds to that. One, from an admin perspective, when a user is created in your Active Directory, it automatically syncs to Cisco Webex Control Hub, and you also have an option to automatically assign the license as well. And also from a search perspective, when you sync all your users within your organization, as an end user, I could search for anybody within my own organization and be able to find them and be able to click to call as well from that user. And then the last one listed here is calendar service, also known as hybrid calendar service. This makes life easier for joining meetings because you get one button to push from your Webex app and also the Webex room devices. And it pops up right before the meeting starts or 5 minutes before the meeting starts, depends on what you have for your settings. And also it's going to list all your upcoming meetings in your calendar tab as well. So this provides you a quick high-level overview on what each feature does, how it's going to help you as an admin, and also the end user, how it's going to help them from overall experience perspective. There are a few additional slides here that talks about each of these features and how to enable them. I would highlight a couple of them here, but I will post the slides so you can review them offline as well. So Verify Domain, as an admin, you could do it directly from the Control Hub, and the steps are outlined here. The Claim Domain is one I would like to highlight here, because earlier, if you wanted to do a claim domain, you had to open a tag case to be able to do that. But that has changed, I believe, more than a year back. Now, as an admin, you can do the claim domain on yourself without having to open a tag case. And that steps are outlined here as well. In addition to that, there are additional links here at the end of the slide deck that provides you a quick overview of each feature and how to enable them. And as I said, I will post this slide deck in the space so you have access to them. The next feature I want to cover that goes along with the modern experience is called organization health, and also referred as organization score. So if you log into your Control Hub today, and if you look at the overview page here, it's going to give you a score called Organization Health, and it's also referred as Experience Score as well. The features that we covered in the PowerPoint presentation is highlighted here, and it gives you an overview on whether those features have been enabled for our organization. If you don't have it, it gives you a quick option to look at how to enable them. And also each feature has a score that gives you an overall experience score for your organization. So this is a test org that we have, and you can see 81% is the experience score is based on all the features that we have enabled. And I can see here there is 7 out of 10 actions have been completed. And if I happen to click on here, and it's going to give me all the features that I have configured and the ones that have not been configured. I can see I have done verify domain, so I have full score for that. I have set up an auto assign license template, claim domain. I have hybrid calendar services, and also have added some users as well. Now, I could see there are a few that I have not configured here. One, you can see there's a claim users I have not done, and also directory sync that I have not done as well. There are 2 things I want to highlight here. There are certain features that are not applicable to certain customers. So you do have an option now to remove those features saying that this does not apply to my organization, so I don't want it to be part of my organization's code. For example, let's say we are using a directory connect or directory sync on our end that is not supported by Cisco. For example, if I'm using Active Directory, then we could sync all the users. Same with the Azure as well. Let's say customers are using Google, right? A lot of education customers are using Google, and they don't have an option to set up the directory connector. So they can come here and say, this does not apply to me, so I'm going to remove this action. Once you remove this, it's going to recalibrate my score, and you can see it went up high to 85 as well. Let's say I don't have any users to claim, and I could remove that as well. Now my score is up here, and it gives me an overall experience score here. But at some point, let's say you have the directory connector, or we do support the directory connector for your own setup, then I could come back here and add it back to my overall experience score, and then it will recompute my experience score as well. For each one of these features, let's say I need to get some additional information here, I can click on here, then it gives you some information at the bottom here. You can also click setup, and it will walk you through, and it's true for all the features listed here as well. So it gives you an idea as how to configure the feature and get additional information. And also when you click on what makes up my score, it's going to give you additional information on each of the additional setup you have here. So if you scroll down, it gives you a lot more information. But for our beta purposes, our primary focus is on the experience score that I shared in the PowerPoint, but you do have an additional information to track here. Under Meetings tab, it tells you how much is adoption from an audio and video perspective as well. Hopefully this video has been helpful to you, and if you have additional questions, post in the section within the CCP, Customer Connection Program, and let us know why you don't have certain features turned on. As I said, there are certain gaps that we do know today. For example, Google Directory is one. And then if you're using Azure Sync, today the directory connector in the Control Hub does not recognize that you have that. So it will still show that you don't have it enabled. Hopefully those will get fixed in the coming months. But if you do have other feedback or other reasons why you don't have certain features enabled, we do want to hear from you. Thank you.